First Things magazine is a periodical to which I once subscribed a long time ago. And at one time, when I had aspirations to become part of the conservative intelligentsia, before I saw that that was not where I was bound to be, because where I was located, where the truth, where my pursuit for the truth took me, went well beyond what was allowed to be said by the conservative intelligentsia. But back when I really, that was sort of my thing. I subscribed to First Things magazine. First Things magazine is still around today, and I occasionally go back and look at it, and or on the online version of it, or what they have posted online. This is an article that caught my eye. Why I am a conspiracy theorist. Okay, I had to take a gander at this one. So let me read a bit from it and then summarize what I think we can glean from this article about this whole notion of conspiracy theory, and obviously it's a term that's fraught with rhetorical mischief, especially these days. But that's why this kind of caught my eye, that this guy's, for the fact that this writer named Hans Boersma, I'll link to it in any case, however his name is pronounced. The fact that he's going out on a limb a little bit, being a little bit provocative, in a way that, even on the right side of the mainstream, you're really not supposed to broach this border toward that is the word conspiracy or conspiracy theorist, a term invented by the CIA, as we all know, right? But anyway, I thought my glasses would work for this, but I think that it's best for me to go glassesless. All right. So Hans Boersma in this article writes, "Conspiracy theorists are lunatics. Such is the consensus among most people I meet. And yet, whenever the topic of conspiracy theories come up, I think of Psalm 2. Okay, first of all, such is the consensus among most people I meet. That tells you what kind of people this guy's rubbing shoulders with, right? Conspiracy theorists are lunatics. That's the consensus among the people he knows, the people he's friends with. Okay. That's a little different from some of our experiences, isn't it? Of course, we would eschew the term conspiracy theorist, or maybe we would embrace it ironically in that Eminem kind of way. I am whatever you say I am, sort of. I'm rubber, you're glue, or is it the other way around? No, it's I'm rubber, you're glue. It is that. Okay, so whenever I think the topic of conspiracy theories come up, I think of Psalm 2. Why do the nations conspire and the peoples plot in vain? The kings of the earth set themselves and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and his anointed, saying, let us burst their bonds asunder and cast their cords from us. Interesting psalm, which talks about the nations conspiring against the Lord and his anointed. He goes on to write in this article, David claims that the nations conspire. The early church was convinced that Jesus' death was the result of a Psalm 2 type of conspiracy set up by rulers and elders and scribes. True enough. He goes on, the past few years have placed the positive use of the term conspiracy under a cloud. And so far I'm reading this and I'm thinking, yeah, this is pretty good. This is good. Way to go, First Things. But now we get to the point where the first thing's path diverges from my path and from what I believe to be the path of truth. All right. The past few years have placed the positive use of the term conspiracy under a cloud. In some ways, this is understandable. Conspiracy theories that claim, for example, that the September 11th attacks were the result of controlled demolition, or that Neil Armstrong never set foot on the moon, are worthy of nothing but disdain. Still, crazy conspiracy theories do not preclude actual conspiracies. Okay, I'm stopping there. I'm stopping at this point to point something out. And again, I'll link to this article. You see how even among people who have any ambition to be part of, the acceptable discourse, even if you're on the far right side of acceptable discourse, if left and right have any legitimate meaning, that is. This writer aims to be within, the bounds of acceptable discourse, but not to go beyond those bounds. So he goes right up to the edge, and then it's like he has to just throw this in. Conspiracy theories that claim, for example, that the September 11th attacks were the result of controlled demolition, or that Neil Armstrong never set foot on the moon, are worthy of nothing but disdain. Why? Why are they worthy of nothing but disdain, Mr. Borsima? Why do you say that? Why is that? How are you comfortable? How do you make yourself comfortable just proclaiming something like that when you obviously don't know what you're talking about? Now, I'm trying to say that in a way that doesn't sound like I'm engaging in some kind of emotional response here. I'm not. I mean, I do have an emotional response in that this kind of statement, this kind of de facto statement, this kind of fiat, the sort of judgment by fiat that if you believe X or if you believe Y, you're worthy of nothing but disdain. Yes, that frustrates me. But what I'm less interested in my frustration, and more interested in being analytical here. The positive use of the term conspiracy. The past few years have placed the positive use of the term conspiracy under a cloud. Positive use of the term conspiracy? I don't know if positive is the word. Maybe he means legitimate use of the term conspiracy, or perceived legitimacy of the term conspiracy under a cloud, because you've had, and why has that been the case? Has it been because there's been, an intellectual groundswell, which has shown so-called conspiracy theorists to be wrong? No, that hasn't happened. What has happened is there has been this intensive campaign of supreme disingenuousness, this campaign of mind control. Let's just say, where you're told, don't go there, and you're told that if you want to have, if there's any hope for you having any kind of social credit points to your favor, You better not go here or go here or go here. You better not look down this alleyway or look down this passage or consider these set of facts. Okay, and I don't know. The two things he talks about as being the two conspiracy theories that he talks about as being worthy of nothing but disdain, in an article that says that the title is "Why I Am a Conspiracy Theorist." The two things that he talks about are Neil Armstrong never setting foot on the moon, and the idea that the September 11th attacks were the result of controlled demolition. Okay, I've made my thoughts obvious on the September 11th event, and you can go to 19arabs.blogspot.com to see where I stand as far as that goes. I don't have a strong feeling about the second thing that he mentions as being worthy of nothing but disdain, which is that the moon landing was faked. I don't have strong feelings about that one way or the other, but I definitely don't think it's worthy of nothing but disdain. I definitely don't think if you don't think that Neil Armstrong set foot on the moon, that you are worthy of nothing but disdain. But this guy writing for this conservative journal, this conservative journal, but yet journal that is within the bounds of establishment thinking, he has to throw these things in there. Why? He could have just he needn't have talked about. He needn't have talked down these two ways of thinking at all. He needn't have mentioned them at all. But he apparently wants to gain traction. He wants to gain social credit points by saying, "Of course I'm not one of these. Of course I'm not one of those." That's the only reason why he mentions them in this article, because this article is not about those things. What he goes on to write about, which I won't talk about very much here. You can read it yourself if you'd like. Is more about what's happening right now with the V mandates and the V passports. The stuff, the Baj, and how he's against it being compulsory, and how there's a legitimate thinking that powerful people are conspiring to do dreadful things. That's happening now. Now, the fact that he's saying these things, all credit to him for that. But one of the things that he decries, one of the things that Mr. Borsima decries in this article, is the whole social credit scheme, that you gain points in society. When you get bajed, you gain points, and if you refuse to get bajed, then you lose points. And he thinks that this is a terrible thing. He thinks that this is, a totalitarian setup, and yet he's very eager. He shows himself to be very, very eager to throw people who believe things that are disregardable, to throw them under the bus. If they and just say that they're worthy of nothing but disdain. When in fact, that is not the case. That is not the case at all, that they're worthy of nothing but disdain. I know that some people will hear me say what I'm saying here and say that I'm straining at gnats. But I don't think that I am. I think that writing from the point of view of someone who is saying who is taking on this provocative stance, why I am a conspiracy theorist. I don't mind him. I'm not saying he has to say I believe that controlled demolition took down the towers. I don't think we ever walked on the moon. He doesn't have to say those things. He doesn't even have to mention those things. But the fact that he uses those things as like this I find it very dishonorable, rhetorically dishonorable, the way that he just spits on those who are regarded as disreputable, and uses them as like, of course I'm not one of those, but I do think we should take this coercion, this creeping totalitarianism that's happening right now. We should see that there are conspiracies afoot. I'm grateful for his ultimate message, but I find I can't but view him with disdain for engaging in this kind of rhetorical dirty dealing. I really loathe the kind of people who triangulate, who are so eager to triangulate, who are so eager to say, well, I'm not one of those. What are you trying to do when you say, well, I'm not one of those? What are you doing? What are you engaging in there? What you're saying is, I want to be in with the in crowd. Please don't look down on me. Please don't think of me as one of those over there, who believe in these gross people over there. I'm definitely not with them. It would be different if he was talking about people who had certain morally objectionable stances, then separating himself from them would be justified. If he was to say, there's people who think that genocide is okay, that abortion is okay, that euthanasia is okay. I'm not one of them. I don't want to associate myself with them. In that case, he's making a crucial moral distinction. But there's nothing immoral about thinking that the September 11th attacks were the result of controlled demolition, and there's nothing immoral about thinking that Neil Armstrong never set foot on the moon. You could believe either or both of those things and be a good person, be a person who observes the moral law, believes in the moral law. There's nothing binding about either of those things. And so there's something about this appeal to to power. It's an appeal to power. It's a please don't shuffle me to the margins. I understand why you push these gross, disgusting, appalling people who think that the official story of September 11th doesn't hold water. I can understand why you kick those people to the curb, and I kick them too. I kick them just as hard as you kick them. But let's just listen to me here. I think there's we should keep this in mind about this other thing, this other issue. All right, that kind of makes me want to say screw this guy. Even though I'm grateful that he's saying what he's saying, and I believe ultimately in his. I think that the point that he makes in his article is true. The fact that he feels this need to establish his social credit bona fides makes me feel disdain for him. So what do you think? What do y'all think? I'll link the article for whatever it's worth, and you can judge for yourselves. Thanks for watching. My name's Andy Nowicki. Check out my work at altrightnovelist.com. My latest book, The Insurrectionist, can be purchased at terrorhousepress.com.